So check it. Z, welcome to the table, man. As you can see, this is nature's version.
Yeah. It's good. Me and nature have a lot in common.
Right, bro? You know, and that's why I felt you'd be comfortable here, man. And not even just that, but just to almost give you an introduction, you know, the infamous Zebulon West Snyder, also known as MC Unknown. We finally got him here for the exclusive, out from Colorado, you know, and now that we have him here, we want to pick his brain for a little bit and kind of just see what makes him tick, what makes him move.
Careful, man. There's some fucked up shit in there.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, let's get to it, man. So, what has life been like for you, man? Like just in general, when it comes to the journey of life.
Well, I mean, the journey of life has brought me back up here, which, you know, like, no complaints there. But between the last year being filled with, like, my cancer diagnosis and finally, like, attacking that, and, you know, like, trying to, like, better my health a little bit, actually taking some time away from, like, social media in, like, a real way. Because, like, I mean, I've never taken it seriously. And so I'm never going to take it seriously.
They know now, bro.
Okay,
you don't point it out and shit. So.
They always do.
All right.
They always do. My content isn't for people that watch content.
Yeah, right.
It's just fuck around shit. It's funny, but yeah, I got a little too involved. I just, you know, I could see that it wasn't helping my mental health. It wasn't helping anything, and yeah. So life has been crazy, man. Like, just it's a lot of ups and downs, but I'm glad that no matter how far down it gets, as long as you got a will to keep on moving, you know, you can kind of fall forward and you find yourself in better positions.
Exactly.
Better friends, better things going on, you know? Yeah.
Exactly, man. And that's what I want to focus on today is the ups, you know, because, like, you know, we're friends in real life, so, like, we're familiar with each other's struggles and the downs, and oftentimes we're pushing each other through.
I don't
you
have
feel
downs. I just look like I do.
This guy. Well, look, bro. I mean, you know, that's why whenever I get with you, it's always fun to focus on building.
Yeah.
Unlike on the positive energy, because, you know, life gives us so much negative, like we just talked about, that when we insert all of our positive shit, we get like a charge that pushes us to the fucking moon, you know. So on the ups, like what's an up for you lately musically?
You know, I mean, I would definitely have to say the album that we're working on is really, I would say that's a huge up. And personally, like, on my solo shit, I mean, my album is coming together in a way that I would have never thought it was possible, you know? Like, if a 15-year-old, 14-year-old, shit, maybe even younger version of me could see or hear the things that I'm doing right now, that I'm creating by, like, just out of my head, just, you know, on the guitar, just any of that. Like, that kid would flip out. He wouldn't believe that, you know, this kid getting bullied and shit, like, is gonna be able to have something really profound to say. And, like, that's why I make jokes, you know, is because, like, I don't want to take myself too seriously, but I do have to give myself a little bit of credit. Like, you know, I really take the things that I think are really silly seriously, and I put them into my music. And yeah, I think there's going to be some 13-year-old, 15-year-old kid out there one day that listens to it, and it's going to help in some way or shape or form, and that's kind of cool to me.
Yeah, man. That's really dope, because then it helps you get through, like, those moments that are tough, you know, like, just knowing that you're helping somebody.
I think, honestly, too, the craziest thing about it, I'm realizing, is, like, sometimes, like, I don't know if you get this, but I get it a lot, where, like, I'll get writer's block on something that I was working on that was kind of flowing for a minute. It's usually about something very specific, you know, like it's about a specific kind of low or hardship, or even some good things too. But, like, you know, you look at the song and then you're like, all right, I'm going to take a break on writing this for a while. And then I'm starting to see now, it's like, oh, I just had to get through that thing. I had to get farther away from the vest, you know? Well, but for real though, like, I had to get the problem behind me a little bit before I could look at it objectively and then kind of condense it into a 3-minute song or something, you know? It was like, okay, I made it through that thing and now I have a better outlook on it, you know? So I'm able to write from that place still, but it's not as close, and it doesn't hurt as much, so you're able to like navigate it a little better, which probably makes it easier for people that are listening to understand that thing better. Like, oh, I didn't look at it from that way because they hadn't gone through it all the way yet.
Yeah.
You know?
That's beautiful, bro. And you already mentioned the vest, so I'll just get to that. You know, you look dapper, bro. You know, you dressed to kill. You know, you got the.
Thank you.
I want to do like this. Squeaking a little mugs.
I really wish it was one of the spinny ones, bro.
You be too distracted the whole show.
Yeah, I know. I'd be spinning it this whole motherfucking time. I'd be pressing the button like constantly.
Man, bro. So what is your writing process? What is your writing process like then?
Okay, well that's actually a really fun question because like I like to challenge myself a lot with it. Since I have written things for a lot of other people, I've done a lot of ghostwriting now, and I write so much myself anyways. I like to. There's three main components to my writing process. The first one is, now that I'm at the level I'm at with writing, I always, in every notebook I buy, because I'm old school like that, I still have a notebook. At the very end of the notebook, I write song ideas or, concepts, and then I write like 20 of them out, just random ones. Some of them are dumb, like Sidewalks was one of them last month. Like,
okay.
Like, it just
sound like a bot.
Just random. Yeah, well, yeah. It could be. It probably isn't though. But with that, it definitely make you walk away.
Right.
But
there you go.
Anyways,
there you go.
Yeah. So just thank you. Where's the band at?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Casey Rocket over here, bro.
Yeah. Well, they're. I'm not gonna do it. So, anyways. Yeah, that's one thing I like to do. I like to challenge myself with that. Like, I'll write a lot of random things that I'm like, oh, that could be a cool song. Or, oh, that's a shitty thing that just happened, or whatever. Like, and then I do that, and then by the end of the notebook, I see how many of those I've crossed off. And usually I get a pretty good number of them off of there, like where I've written something cohesively at least that I'm like, all right, I can say that I did that now. And then the other thing I like to do is, if I'm just kind of like going through some shit, like we were talking about the other day, for the listeners, I'll elaborate a little bit. Like, if you're going through like a chapter of your life and you're like me and you want to make an album about that chapter, sometimes the album takes a lot longer to finish because of that. Because you don't really know where the end line of this chapter is until like you really reach a pivotal moment. And so that's like part of my writing process, where I just like really try to like categorically look at all the things that are happened to me in this chapter. And like if I was writing a book, would this be the end of that chapter that I'm on?
Yeah.
And so that's a real helpful thing that helps me write like the albums that I'm working on. And then the third thing that I do is, if I'm ever feeling like, a little down on myself, but then I remind myself, like, what the fuck? Like, we all poop, right? Like, we all wake up and take a dump.
Hopefully.
Yeah, some people
I'd
don't.
feel bad
like,
if they didn't.
Those people, don't fuck with them. Like, they're having a bad
They're probably full of it, man.
Yeah, and they are. But with that being said, like, I'm never gonna not feel confident in myself, because not a single person in this world wakes up and doesn't shit. Not a single person in this world wakes up and doesn't have some weird thing happen to them. Like, we all, have you ever gone for a handshake and then somebody doesn't handshake you and it's like, yeah.
I'm just hoping you don't offend the constipated community.
Oh, yeah.
You feel me?
I mean, constantly am I constipated. You can leave that in. We'll take it out. We'll leave it right here.
Okay. Ain't nothing going nowhere in this, bro.
I know.
This is minimal editing, so like, I like to give it to them as real as we can, bro.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Don't cut anything out. In fact, like all those nude scenes I did at the beginning, just leave those.
Oh. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. All right, bro. So check it. Every time we hang out, you're usually showing me somebody that's inspired you in a huge way. So if you had to name, if you briefly had to name, I'll give you five. I'll give you five people that have inspired you, and even if you want to name like how they've inspired you,
okay,
kind
so
of
the bullet
quickly.
points of the five that have inspired me and like why. Okay, I got you. All right. This list is gonna be fun.
I can't wait, bro.
Okay, so
this list is gonna be a clip on its own.
All right. Well, here we go. All right, so Emma Goldman is one. Emma Goldman, if for those of you that don't know, was an American author, writer, anarchist. She's just like she's a really cool chick, and the way that she inspired me is just like the writings that she had in her book Anarchism and Other Essays, which, you know, check that shit out. Is just like it's about a lot of really radical ideas that just like, you know, today might not seem as radical, but back then were super radical, and you know, she put her money where her mouth is on it. So that super huge shout out to Emma Goldman. You know, long dead, but shout out to
Emma, bro.
Yeah, no, and like,
starting off strong.
Honestly, read that book for sure. Like that shit's amazing. But
what was the name of the book?
So Anarchism and Other Essays.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay, Anarchism and Other Essays.
Yeah, super amazing read. And then I'm gonna have to go, if we're going music, Pat the Bunny. Pat the Bunny is like one of my biggest influences of all time. His music, just like through my active addictions and stuff like that, through hitchhiking, through being homeless, all these things, like he really kind of condensed like the freedom of all of that into something that makes a lot of sense to me. And the lyrics are always fire. People always hate on his singing, but his lyrics were amazing. And if you,
I don't think you've ever showed me Pat the Bunny, so
it's on its way.
You have to. Is that in a future hangout session?
Yeah,
like you got Pat the Bunny?
That one's definitely
next
coming.
one.
But
okay.
yeah, it's again one of those things where it's not always palatable to the ear, because again, it was just like some train hopper kid that was just like, he did Johnny Hobo and the Freight Trains, which was an amazing project that he worked on with just some dude with a horn. It was really just Pat the Bunny doing everything. But then Wingnut Dishwasher Union, which is another band that was just, again, just pretty much Pat the Bunny writing all these songs. And then they did Ramshackle Glory, which was his last little band that he was in. That was an actual band, but it's still pretty much all his music. And then he retired and became a Buddhist monk from the last time I heard. Like, he doesn't make music anymore. He was one of those only people that I could send literally like 35 cents in a licked envelope. I could put 35 raw ass cents in a real envelope and then send it to his little commune in Arizona. And they'd send you a t-shirt. They'd send you like whatever, like shit.
Wow.
They'd send you something back. Yeah, they'd send you a CD.
That's when you're in it for the real healing work.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
His music got me through more than most music ever has in my entire life. Like I really... It's so crazy that he doesn't make music, but I kind of understand it now too, because it's like when I've had people walk up to me and kind of give me the same spiel I imagine I would give Pat the Bunny, like where I'm like, oh bro, like I don't want to be a fan here, but like I'm a fan, like you got me through some shit. And so anytime I've had people talk to me on that level, like I get real uncomfortable, dude, like I really do. And maybe it's because I never thought anyone would give a shit what I had to say in the first place, but it's like the praise is kind of like the hate in my mind, you know. It's like either one will get your head all inflated in a bad way. Like the hate will make you feel real bad about yourself for no reason. The praise will make you think better about yourself for no reason. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. That's just the alarm.
Okay.
You know.
I was gonna say you should have answered it.
It's
like, hey, titty the boy, look.
No, bro. No, because
I know. You can edit that out.
No, because
if you're gonna say it, I mean.
No, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Because one time I was sitting with my brother, and he was like, "Hey, yo, titty boy LaCroix, like, you know where I can get the best bratwurst in town?" And I was like, "Man, I don't. But if you find out, let me know." Dude,
that's like my uncle Garlo Sanchez. He used to always say to me, it's just like, wow.
What'd you say back to him?
No, I just said, oh, you shucks, Garlo. I said, you don't know nothing about nothing, like, get out of here, you nonverbal son of a bitch. All right.
So that was two, right?
All right, so that was two. So, all right, now we're going Idea for sure, because Idea got Michael Larson, you know, rest in peace to him as well.
Rest in
He's just an amazing MC, poet, battle rapper, philosopher. He was really what got me into like being a rapper at like the level I was, like with battle rapping, all that shit. But he would make these weird albums that were just really like philosophical thought experiment based albums that you were like, what in the fuck is this, dude? Like, this is the dude that just told dude your pants used to be white until your period spilled. Like, what in the fuck is this? So it inspired me to really like push forward, and like, yeah, the fact that KRS-One called him the champion, like, and not just in the context of that battle,
Big
but
compliment.
always said that he was one of the greats when it came to freestyling. And I, to this day, dude, like his Sway and Tech in the Wake Up Show, back when Tech was still involved with the Wake Up Show. Yeah, but like when him and Slug from Atmosphere freestyled on there, like, dude, Idea just like hogs that shit. He just fucking murks it.
I gotta watch that one, bro, because that
it's old school too.
it's hard for me to imagine him overtaking Slug on the same beat. I have to
Dude,
watch that, bro.
well,
He is fire, bro. He is definitely fire. I gotta
What's
say
crazy is
that.
like Idea got signed by Rhymesayers, and this might be like a rumor, but I'm pretty sure that this happened, just because of like the age he was when he did his first album, which was Grand Six Sense with Abilities, DJ Abilities, shout out him, one of the greatest DJs of all time. That album, he started that when he was 13, and so a lot of the shit in there, like, dude, he had this line in Grand Six Sense on this song called Bad Day, where he says, fuck, I'm trying to think, he's like,
You gotta dig it up. Dig it up.
Yeah. Well, he just said like fuck the world just because you. Now I say fuck the world just because you walk on it, and like the lead up to that.
Okay.
It was like it's a bad day. I thought I was still talking shit. Now I'm like fuck the world just because you walk on it, and I was like, whoa, dude.
Ooh,
like,
that's big energy right there, bro.
Dude,
fuck the world just because you walk on it.
Child.
Yeah.
Writing that bar, but to this day, like it still hits, dude. Like his. Yeah, or that song I showed you the other day, Weird Side. He wrote that when he was 13 as well, but redid it into his 20s as Oliver Hart.
Yeah.
But the original one where he says, I open up a CD just to see if my name's in the shout-outs. Like, what the fuck? How the fuck is this kid
like
that
we
good?
can identify with that.
Yeah, dude,
we can identify with that,
if
bro.
you're dope as fuck, like, especially in the hip-hop community or something, like, sometimes you're not getting the shine, but, like, you get the respect from the people that are getting the shine, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get the respect from the people that really do it, bro.
Yeah, so
no matter how popular you are, like, if you're displaying the skills, the people that are in that field, the people that are trying to do the same thing, they gotta pay you respect. You know what I'm saying? They have to, you know?
And then I guess if we're going hip-hop again, I'm gonna have to say Decca. Decca is super dope. Shout out Decca.
Okay.
He's still alive and doing it, and to a very high level. You know, before I got sober, like the very first time that I ever like was able to like beat my addiction for the longest time, before I had like a relapse or anything like that, I remember I was just sitting with my uncle in this not the uncle that was
Of course not him, because he wasn't.
Yeah, no,
you know
but he was nonverbal, so yeah, he was.
Yeah, he liked to chill.
I just kind of lock him in the basement and get on with my day.
Just let him be down there. He's generating energy down there like a windmill.
His album, The Way Through, I listened to it on recommendation from my friend Joe Medina, who's like one of my oldest friends, and I guess his girl was the one that was really into him, and so I check it out. And it was while I was still using or whatever, and I was using with my uncle at the time and shit. But like this was around the time where I was like starting to get really fed up with the lifestyle. I was just really fed up with like the people I was around, all this kind of shit that was like really making me kind of want to search inward. And this album, The Way Through by Decca, was one of the craziest meditative states I've ever been in with listening to a full album. And like from what I understand, the dude was like addicted to heroin. He grew up in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken, like where I grew up.
Wow.
And he lives in New York now. He's sober, and he was like shooting heroin and all this stuff. And he talks about it in his music, but he talks about it in a way, like I was saying, he's like painting a picture with the words. He's not overdoing it. Like in one thing that he says, he's like penny pusher peddling, product peddler peddling Emma, whatever.
It's so fire, I can't even compute right now.
Yeah, no, it's a really
it's in
good
there
one,
though.
and there's
It's
a
in
lot
there.
going on right now with like thinking about this because it's a loaded question for me. But yeah, so that listening to that album all the way through, like me and my uncle, and we're really close in age. My family's fucking weird, but like I'm talking like a year apart, like me and my uncle are. So, yeah, so weird family dynamic. But me and him were always like trying to talk over each other all the time, and like this was one time where we both just shut the fuck up and like listened all the way through this like just masterful album where like I didn't realize that hip hop could be like that either, you know, or like a rapper could be like that, especially around like 2018, 2019 when I heard that. And the next one, number 5, you know, I gotta say my dad, you know, like my dad, he's a framer, he's not like an artist, right, but like he is like
that's an artist,
though.
bro. Come on.
No, and like but like I mean like not like a music artist, but
Yeah.
he is like my biggest influence on music and jokes and everything that I was up to a certain point, like because of my dad.
Pops.
Yeah, because he'd always have a joke, he'd always have something smart to say, but he was always like, you know, and he's a hard motherfucker, he's a hard ass motherfucker, but he can be the chillest dude that like, I've watched him talk to anybody like, and there not be like a dynamic shift where it's like, oh, this dude's like a millionaire and here's my dad over here trying to chat with him. No, it was like this millionaire gets to chat it up with my pops for a second, you know, like, and he's
maybe he'll learn something.
Just a cool dude. But yeah, he'd be outside in the fucking winter time every day, fucking building houses with his bare fucking hands, no gloves, because he used to say, and still does, I guess, but says all you do with gloves is piss yourself, because if it's like real cold and you're trying to like get your zipper down, you can't do it with the gloves. So he just, like, bare hands it, which is crazy. But fucking my hands are still soft baby hands, I guess, like, because I still like some gloves every now and then. But just the way he does everything is like how I do my music, man. Like, not only was he the biggest influence on like me, like my dad showed me Ice Cube as well as showing me like Lynyrd Skynyrd and also the Beastie Boys. Over to the Cottonmouth Kings and Tech Nine. My dad showed me all those people first, like, before anybody did.
That's gotta be dope.
It's super cool, man. Yeah, it's super interesting too that he would like bring those things home. Looking back, I'm like, yeah, my dad likes a lot of blues. He fucking gets down on some blues. But he saw all these cool ass shows live. He's just like, I don't know what he was before I existed, you know. But like I know that he was a cool son of a bitch, and he still is to this day. And so. And like doesn't take no shit off of nobody, man. Like he doesn't do anything conventionally, but he does it the right way.
Yeah.
But he won't do it just because you throw money at him. Like he's gonna do it if it's the right move for him, and he's helping somebody like with their home they want to live in. You know, like he doesn't give a shit about making a millionaire richer. He doesn't give a shit about making a billionaire fucking richer. He's not trying to build shit for BlackRock or Vanguard. And he preaches freedom and all that shit, you know, burn your documents and keep your promises. That's a line that I fucking...
That's gangster, bro.
Yeah, dude.
And on that note, I guess that brings me to my final question, right?
Yeah, of course.
So since, you know, like your pops, like you just described him, there's no doubt that he's gonna leave his legacy behind and all he's doing, building homes and networking and just helping people feel safe, right?
Yeah.
So like, what do you think your legacy, if you had to tell the people what you want your legacy to be in the end, because you've been through a lot of shit in life, right? And you keep going. To keep going, you do that for a reason. Yeah. So like what mark, what imprint, what legacy do you want to leave behind?
You know, Benny's my legacy, man, my daughter. Anything outside of that, whatever people decide my legacy is after the fact, it's cool with me. I don't care if it's good, I don't care if it's bad. But Benny is my legacy, and I did leave that behind, and that's something that makes me feel good. Like everything else that I'm doing musically, everything I'm doing, that is my life. That is who I am. There's no fucking lies in my music. That's legit. And so, but that's for people to decide what my legacy was. It's not up for me to decide anymore. I don't care. Yeah.
Bro, I like it, man. I love it, bro.
Fuck yeah.
And you know, brother, look.
Paper beats rock.
You're always here, but right? You motherfucker. Come back in. Come back in, son of a bitch. Come back in. Come back in, bro. Shit. Nah, brother. Hey, you my dog, man.
my
It's
dog
good to
too,
finally
bro.
have you here,
Yeah.
bro. Welcome to the table.
Thank you. The table is dope.
Yes.
If you're not watching it, you should watch it. It makes you look more attractive to your partner. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Right.
If you're
Tell
bald,
them.
it'll make you grow hair. If you're not bald and you want to be bald, it will cut all your hair off you. Like it's basically the Brazilian wax equivalent of, a podcast. It's
Right, bro. Tell them.
Yeah, I did.
Fucking tell him he did, bro. So watch, tune in. We're gonna have conversations with dope people like MC Unknown, more. All right.
All right.
Hell yeah, bro. Easy.